Hello, this is Abby.
Dear Abby, this is gonna be a long one.
Oh boy.
Dear Abby, how do you tell the difference between a new exciting crush and a rebound?
Does it matter?
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby.
Welcome to our little corner of the internet. This is the Dear Abby podcast. I hope you stay and hang out with us. See you in a sec. Welcome to another episode of Dear Abby. This is my podcast, and this is my new co-host. His name, I'm not sure yet, but isn't he freaking cute? My brother got me this teddy bear for Christmas, and he's huge and he's adorable, and I put a t-shirt on him, and now he just chills. Now he just chills on my couch with me, so it's kind of like a replacement for my dog, I guess. But sometimes okay, you know what? I'm so selfish, you guys. I don't think the last two episodes I've even said I hope everyone's having a good Thursday. I've been in a bad selfish mood apparently every time I record. So, I just want to say I hope everyone's having a great Thursday, and I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Here we are, post-Christmas, and I hope that my episode last week helped everyone have a decent or beautiful, joyous, good Christmas. I got a couple messages saying they appreciated and felt seen by, I think just bringing awareness to sometimes Christmas can just be really difficult, and sometimes seeing families or doing events can be really challenging. So happy to talk. I'm always happy to talk by myself. So today we're talking about a couple different things, but before that I have some highlights of the week and also just some fun stuff and some dubs and L's. So first off, some of my highlights of the week were one, when I was playing Apex with myself and nobody else because everyone else bailed on me. I was just playing with two randos online, and I never really chat to people because I get really nervous to talk to people. And especially because I'm a girl, I don't talk unless I do good, because I know if I do bad and I talk, then they're just going to be even more mean. So I just don't say anything unless I do really good. But even then I usually don't say anything just because I get kind of scared to talk, which is weird because they're never going to know who I am. So I'm like, why am I scared to talk to people that I'll never meet in person? But I don't know. So I was playing Apex Legends, which is like a battle royale type game. And sometimes I do really good in that game. And sometimes I just do pretty mediocre. But the other night I was really killing it, and I was kind of carrying almost every game I played on ranked, which is like harder to find. It's just a little bit more challenging. People are more intense in the games. So it's kind of hard to do very good, especially for me who gets a little bit flabbergasted in moments of intensity in the game. Anyways, I was killing it, basically. But I was teamed up with, one of the matches I was teamed up with just two guys, and they were talking to each other. They were probably brothers or friends or something because they were in the same club thing. And they were being pretty bossy, which I don't mind. Like, I'm yes, sir, I will take orders. I'm great at taking orders. I'm used to it, I think, also because whenever I bark orders, nobody listens to me because I'm a DIRL. And possibly also maybe just because I don't bark the best orders. That could also be it, but I'm going to stick with because I'm a girl. Anyways, so I'm great at listening and doing whatever I'm told, pretty much. Not in like a bad way, just in like video games way. I'm used to it because my older brother is a lot better at all of that stuff than me, so I've just grown up being bossed around by my sister and my brother in video games. Well, my sister in real life, my brother in video games. So it's a skill I've developed to just completely surrender and submit to people barking orders at me. Actually, this is a side note. I mean, all of this was, but joke's on them because they are the ones that have to think. I don't have to think about anything. It's blissful. Anyways, basically, they were calling me dude and bro, and obviously not a lot of girls maybe talk, so people just think that only guys play. And I had like a sniper. I sometimes use it, sometimes I don't, but when I do, I kind of slay with it. So I was using that and then another gun. There was one point in the game, and I've already been doing really good. I think I got the most damage out of everyone and the most knocks, which I was pretty proud of. And we won, so all around it was a great game. There was a point where I had this sniper thing out, and this guy was running away. It was this guy that can inject himself and run really fast. My least favorite player, honestly, to just have around, because he goes do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. His heart beats really fast. He drives me nuts. But he took this like cannon thing, because you can shoot yourself in this big green cannon. And he shot himself, and he was really high up in the sky. Okay, now that I'm saying this isn't that big of a deal. I'm just going to continue with the story. He was almost knocked. I took the shot mid-air when he was really high up, pretty far away, and I timed it perfectly, which I was really proud of myself. I timed it perfectly so that when he started going down, I aimed it at where I think he would have landed in the sky. And I'm usually not this good with aiming with snipers. I'm usually horrible, actually. I'm good mid-range and really close. Actually, I'm just good mid-range. I timed it perfectly and I knocked him. The sound of two men, they sounded my age, going, oh, oh, and like shocked that I got that shot. And they didn't even know I was a girl. Felt really good. I really wanted to say something, and just so they knew I was a girl, because I know they would think it's more impressive. Even though girls have the exact same ability to move their hands and click stuff, but I didn't say anything because I thought, you know what? This win is for me. It's for me and me only. This is just for me. And now thousands of people. Lots of other people. So it's not really, I guess, a win just for me, because now I'm talking about it. But anyways, it was a big moment and everything, but who cares, Another highlight of the week was we exchanged our Christmas presents, me and my boyfriend. That was sweet because he's going to be gone. And that's my other highlight. That's not while as I'm talking about this, he still doesn't know, but when it's released, he'll know because I'll be there. But his parents moved out to the East Coast, the opposite side of the country, and he's like there for Christmas, so he's visiting his family there. I really wanted to surprise him, and my mom actually came to me with the idea because she had some extra miles too on her. I think she switched her flight one time or I don't remember. She did something and they gave her extra miles or extra money for a trip. So she was nice enough to give it to me because she was like, I don't know if I'm even going to use this in time. So she actually, I think she came up with it. I think maybe I had said something, or maybe, I don't remember. But anyways, I'm surprising him, and I've already worked everything out with his mom. So she knows I'm coming, so I'm not just barging in, that would be kind of rude. I'm really excited. I've never really done anything like this before. And let me tell you, I don't know if I will ever do it again because I hate secrets. I've had this secret for so long now, ever since I was talking about it with my mom, and keeping that a secret from him when he talks about Christmas and we're sharing gifts. And I'm like, oh, technically I will be there with you. And then like acting like I won't see him. But I get there on Christmas Day, so in the evening. So I want him and his family to like have their Christmas, and then I'll come at night. Because Christmas night is not this. Well, I don't know. People do stuff on Christmas night. We do stuff Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. Anyway, so when this episode is out, I think I'll be on my way home from there. But I'm with them for just a couple of days. And I'm really excited. I haven't been to that part of the country in a long time, since I was like 10, 12 years old. We went to Washington, D.C. one time for a choir trip. And also during that trip, I'm talking a lot today. During that trip, I threw up so many times because I think my anxiety or OCD or whatever it was so bad. And I was so anxious. I was so anxious. I remember at like 10 years old or 9 years old at the Museum of History, like I was having all this existential dread as like a 9-year-old, 10-year. Okay, this is getting younger and younger, I guess, as the story goes on. Pretty soon I will be 5 years old, but I think, however old you are when you're in fourth grade. How old are you in fourth grade? You're pretty young, right? But I remember I would like go into the porta potty. I specifically remember a scenario where I was so anxious and I did not want to stand up and sing. I did not want to sing, even though I loved singing, and I still do. And I don't have this anxiety about it anymore, but it's so sad because I would fake throw up to get out of like performing, and my music teacher hated me. She was so mad. She was like, yeah, that was just the whole thing. And I remember being so anxious about making her mad. But I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. My mom was always really supportive, and she'd always be like, really gentle with me and everything. But my music teacher did not like that. Rightfully so. I was there to sing, and I think I sang once or twice. Just OCD things. Last highlight of the week is I had a good conversation with my brother. That's all the details for that, but I'm just going to be honest. That's a highlight of the week. Okay, some dubs really fast for this is just mental health. Exposure response success, where I just did exposures and they went successfully, which is just, if it's nice to gain. Sometimes when you get stuck, OCD is so linear. Like your recovery with, am I sweaty? I am, cool. OCD recovery is very up and down, up and down, up and down. And I've learned that I don't know when I'll feel like I'm fully recovered now. And the more I obsess over that, probably the less recovered I'll be. But sometimes when I get stuck in a rut, it feels good to just get traction again, because I'll do exposures. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm retraining my brain again, because I maybe forgot, or I just didn't realize like that was maybe an OCD thing to do, or behaviorally or something. And I just watched less TV and scrolled less than I normally do, because I do like to numb myself out, but I'm trying to do it just a little bit every day and in a healthy way, because I actually don't think there's anything so wrong with watching a little bit of TV and a little bit of something. I think that that's good, honestly. I mean, I'm not nothing. I'm not nothing. I am not nothing. I don't know that much, but what I do know is sometimes I just want to just relax for a good hour in the day and watch some TV. But I'm trying to not numb myself out. I'm trying to do it and like watch something inspiring or watch something entertaining just for an hour, just for no reason, just because I want to, but not overconsume. Okay, and then some L's were, I said L's are scrolled for too long some days. Interesting. That's an interesting thing. Am I scrolling too much or too little? I guess I didn't watch as much TV, but I think I scrolled a little bit longer than I wanted to. But that's okay. I'm learning. But it is getting better, and that's what's important. Okay, so we have still a lot to get to today, because I want to try to get someone on for Abby, a frenemies segment. So we're going to do this fast and efficient. I wanted to talk about two things for like the meat of, get away, little stupid fly, for the meat of the episode. And one of those things is, I say this a lot in my episodes. I've noticed, I think I said it last week, like something about, it's not normal to have chronic anxiety. It's not normal to have depression. It's not normal. When I say anything like that, I've learned that maybe what I mean more so than saying it's not normal is just, it's not the healthiest, and it's not the only option, pretty much. I think because there's a lot of shame, maybe that comes from when people say, having OCD isn't normal. But it's like, that's normal for me. When someone says like that's not normal, it's like, well, then that I think makes me feel like, so there is something inherently wrong with me then. And so that whole story of there's something wrong with me, I'm different, is just reiterated when someone says that's not normal. But that being said, it's important that if there's a behavior or something that isn't healthy, and that's not something that's it's just not regulated, it's not sustainable, it's not healthy, I think more so is what I mean than like it's not normal. Because again, it's like someone who's had depression for 10 years is like, well, this is very normal to me. So when you tell me I'm not normal, it's like, I can't do anything about this. This is just how my brain works. Or this is just what's going on in my body. So I don't like being told that I'm not normal because I'm a very normal human being. However, there's a lot of things that aren't necessarily healthy. I don't know. It's okay to not feel normal sometimes though, because I know I've definitely felt that. Like, just think of how many people don't feel normal. I don't know who, I don't know one person that I've ever met in my life that's like, oh yeah, I'm totally normal. Like, I always feel normal. It's like, no one feels normal. So doesn't that make us all like a little bit not normal together? So therefore it's normal to just be struggling with something. And that's not to invalidate any experiences. Which kind of leads me to the other thing I wanted to just mention was, because we see so much social media posts and so many things about mental health or so many things about other people's, the lifestyle that they live, the way that they live, that they're, I don't know, things that we even enjoy, but there's so much of it that we see that it starts to almost we think it's taking the meaning and the fulfillment away because everyone else is doing it or we see everyone else talking about it. And so it makes our experience less fulfilling or less real. But if you have those types of thoughts or feelings about it, totally normal, but it doesn't diminish anything. And just because everyone else is struggling with stuff doesn't make your struggle not real. And that's not to be a victim, but that's to genuinely validate your feelings so that way you can move on from them. That's just something that I feel like I have to remind myself all the time because I think there's something within some personalities, especially that if everyone else is doing it, you're like, I don't want to do it. If everyone else likes it, you're like, I don't want to like it because I feel like I'm being forced to like it or it's being just fire hosed to me. Why do I keep using that? I've used that in another episode. I don't know even what that means. It's just being thrown onto me is how it feels. And it feels like it's not yours anymore. I don't know if this makes sense, but this makes sense to me. So hopefully I'm explaining it decently. That's just how I feel when I see so many people talk about maybe even anxiety. It's like, well, now I feel like my anxiety is not real because so many other people have it and they talk about it. That doesn't even make sense. Why it wouldn't be real to me anymore? That is my experience. It's not taken away from you just because everyone else is talking about it. That also just happens with overconsumption and thinking you need to rely on people and their validation and their opinions and everything to feel fulfilled in your life. Maybe everyone else is doing what you're doing, and that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it anymore. I think that's more of like an ego thing. Your ego, I don't think, wants you to be okay with feeling a little bit ordinary. There's nothing wrong though with being ordinary. My happiest days are when I feel very ordinary. Why is it so dark on my screen? Okay, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because we just got done with Christmas where I've quite literally spent so much money. I feel sick when I spend money because I've not had the healthiest relationship with money for some reason. Maybe it's the way I was raised. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I've just never had the best relationship with money. My relationship is like, I always regret when I spend money and then I regret when I don't spend money. And I just feel like I don't know what to do. I'm more attached to money because I'm so anxious when I have to spend money. So I save too much, but then I'm more attached to the money because I'm obsessing over what I should do with it and what I shouldn't do with it. And if that purchase was worth it and if I should have gone out to eat just barely. I have a budget and I'm extremely good at following my budget, but I just am trying to heal my relationship with money because the worse that relationship is, the more I'm attached to it. You know, even if it's not like I don't even care to have that much money. I think it's just more because I'm so scared to get money, or I'm like scared to get money. I'm scared to have money because I'm scared it's going to change me in some way. Or I'm scared that I'm not going to be the same person if I like get money from something, or if I get a better job that it just pays better or something. Or I just think, what if this podcast eventually takes off and I start making money? I don't want that to change me. I think that's a very valid fear, but I'm learning that again just shows how attached I am to money, period. That it doesn't matter how much money someone has. I really do believe this. It doesn't matter how much money someone has. doesn't say that they're a good or a bad person. They could have so much money, doesn't mean they're a bad person. For some reason, somewhere along the way, probably like due to like religious reasons, and no hate on that at all. That's just the way that my brain perceived it. And so I take accountability for that as well. And I take accountability to change my mindset about it because no one actually taught me that. But it's like if I have a good amount of money, I can still help people, and that won't actually change anything about me. I just have to let go of my idea about how much money I should have. What's a good amount of money to have? I don't know, like a good person amount of money. How much money should you give away? How much money should you keep? And it's just weird stuff like that maybe just obviously my anxious brain is very like my obsessive brain. That's something that it definitely attaches to sometimes. But here are some of the ways that now I've been trying to put into practice that I actually feel like my relationship is a little bit better, but there's still definitely work that needs to be done. One, having money doesn't make you a bad person. Wanting a sustainable lifestyle, wanting anything nice isn't bad. There's not a perfect amount of money to have that'll make you like a good person or that'll make you a successful person, worthy of something. Money is just money, like period. That's all it is. And I know that's like such a dumb thing to say sometimes because it's like money represents so many things, but at the core of what it is, I mean, it is quite literally just money, but it just represents quite literally almost every single thing that's wrong with the world. You know, which I think that's why maybe I obsess over it sometimes. Anyways, another thing I like to do with money and changing my mindset and perception, and there's so many books, and I'm not an expert at this at all, clearly. If I'm about to spend money, to practice spending money and just not caring, and then, I mean, responsibly, and then also if I'm debating on whether I should buy something or do something, it's like, would you spend this much money for this experience? Would you spend this much money to have a good conversation with a friend? You know, if that's going out to eat, whatever it is that money worth it? Because money really is just an exchange for something. So would I exchange this money for this experience? Would I exchange this money for this lesson, for this relationship, whatever it is? Money is to be spent. You make money, you spend money, you make it back. You just keep going back and forth, back and forth. So the more you're attached to money in general, the more anxious you'll be. And the less you're able to just watch it fluctuate. And also, I've learned very much so to live below your means. I feel like I sometimes lived way below my means, but it's a lot more cozy for me. But I've learned like a good medium where you live a little bit below, but it's okay to get something nice for yourself every once in a while that's sustainable, that you'll keep for a long time, that you really enjoy using. So I guess if you're having any money regrets, don't. Learn your lesson if there was a lesson to be learned. If you actually like, no, I actually shouldn't have spent that money, then okay, now you know, and then don't do it in the future. When you ask yourself, is this worth it? You're like, it wasn't worth it last time. It's not going to be worth it this time. So no, you'll eventually make the money back. It's just money. I know a lot of people don't see it as just money, again, because of everything that it represents in the world and a lot of bad things, but it does not helpful to just keep pushing a narrative of being so attached to money. You know, that's not going to do anything but make things worse, is to have more people obsess over money, because we see what that gets people. I don't know. What the freak do I know about money? I don't know anything. I'm just dumb girl. Just a random friendly reminder to just be kinder to yourself in general with everything going on. You probably have been stressed from Christmas or whatever it is, whatever holidays, or if there's nothing, it just feels stressful. Just take it easy on yourself. Let's do a voicemail. Okay, so this one's not a voicemail. This one's a text. So I'll change my voice. Dear Abby, I just started therapy. Have only gone 3 times so far. I've noticed I don't like that. Dear Abby, I just started therapy. Have only gone 3 times so far. I've noticed that since starting therapy, I've been emotionally eating more. Do you think this is because I'm unlocking a lot of suppressed emotions? Because overall therapy has been positive for me. Thank you, and I appreciate you and the podcast. Oh, that's an interesting question. Sorry, I was scratching my eye. That is an interesting one, isn't it? I don't know. That's kind of tricky. I'm sure. I mean, yeah. whenever I am in like a new place mentally, whether it's good or bad, I feel like my habits of eating change a little bit. It also just could be where you are at in that time of the month. If you are a woman, sounds like you are. Yeah, I feel like that's so normal, and it's probably, well, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with like the actual definition of what that means. I'm guessing it's if you feel emotional, you cope with that by eating. The other thing I can think of is sometimes when I was really when everything was really bad, my mental health, I was just like at all-time low. I was barely eating. I thought I was eating a lot, but now that I'm eating like a normal amount of food, I was definitely not getting all the nutrients. I was not eating what I was supposed to be eating or as much because I just didn't want to eat. I didn't have any obsessions over food at all, actually. I just would not forget to eat. I just didn't have the energy. And I was like, whatever. I'm fine. I'm still alive. I'm just not going to eat because I just didn't want to make myself anything. Nothing sounded good. My appetite was completely gone. So when I started feeling healthier and a little bit better, I actually just started to eat more, period. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I need to like be feeding and fueling my body. So yeah, it's probably a little bit of everything. Doesn't sound like you're that concerned about it or that it's something that should be very concerning unless, I don't know, just gets to a point where you're really concerned about it, then maybe just talk to your therapist about it. But I think overall that's probably pretty normal when things are changing or when you're just in a new headspace. Cool. Okay. Well, that was a short one. Thank you so much for sending that in. And also, you guys, I'm running out of Dear Abby's. So please, if you could text, so call, text. Those are the only two options. Or you can DM me, I guess, if you have any questions for me. It can be about anything, okay? It can be about something silly, fun, funny, serious, not too serious. Yeah, and I'd love to help. I'd love to answer. Just give my 2 cents. Okay. I'm going to call my mom for Dear Abby. She doesn't know I'm calling. I'm just going to call people randomly now. She was on the episode and she did an in-person Dear Abby, but we're going to do one just over the phone instead. You guys, I don't have a lot of friends. I have a couple people I could call. This week is not the week to call some of my friends. So I'm calling my mommy and hopefully she answers. If not, she's a bad mom. This is going to be funny. She's going to be like, why did you tell me? Oh, great. You know what? She might say that if I tell her. She might say, oh, great. Didn't want to tell me, huh?
Hey.
Hey. Gotcha. You're live on my podcast.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm the only one that would answer? I'm just kidding.
Okay. Goodbye. Well, the Dear Abby wasn't a Dear Abby. That was one that I could re-ask you. So I'm just going to ask you questions. Okay, so...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. You go.
Just saying Merry Christmas to everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay, name a 4-letter word that starts with the letter B. Yeah, no, tell me what the first one that you thought it was.
B-A-C-K. No, I couldn't think of one at first. That's the problem. I was like, I'm great at these. And I was like, oh, back. B-A-C-K.
Ugh, I thought of butt. B-U-T-T.
Of course you did.
Butt. B-U-T-T. Use it in a sentence, please. I have a big butt.
You have a big butt. I like big butt.
Okay, what Hogwarts house do you think you would be put in?
Gryffindor.
Oh my gosh. You would say Gryffindor. You think so highly of yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, Gryffindor actually is not like necessarily the best one.
That's true. Hufflepuff is, right? What were you afraid of as a child? Can you think back to something like rational or irrational that you were afraid of as a child?
Sharks and snakes. Always been scared of sharks and snakes.
Okay.
And bears because I went camping a lot.
Yeah,
my
see?
family.
Well,
I
know where my fear of bears came from.
But I was never scared of bears when my dad was with me.
Oh, that's nice.
There. Yeah, I felt like my dad could beat up a bear when I was little. I was like, I'm pretty sure my dad can beat up a bear.
Yeah,
I've seen him take down
very rational.
cows. He can totally take down a bear.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize that bears and cows are very different.
How often do you floss? And be honest. Don't lie to me or my listeners.
What? To pick another one.
What is your favorite way to work out?
I don't understand the question. Like, way? What do you mean? Like,
What do you
running,
mean?
jumping?
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't understand?
I mean, like, am I jumping? Do you mean like that? Or what kind of
What
way
do
to
you-
work out? What does that mean?
Sure, it could be jumping, jump roping,
Jumping.
jumping jacks.
Who does,
No,
who
I'm
does,
saying
like,
I'm saying like plyometrics, cardio, running.
oh, I like to do
Same
like
thing, but-
wall Pilates
Okay, slay.
at home. I like to do like, I used to like to do more like a HIIT workouts and stuff. HIIT with Anna on YouTube. Shout out to her.
Okay.
And I love to do yoga. Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. Shout out to her.
Have you ever
Okay.
come back like with a really good? Well, okay. How do I phrase this? Has someone ever said something to you and you just instantly thought of a great comeback and said it right then
Oh.
and there?
I'm so good at that. I have so many great comebacks that I have said
course.
over the years. I have such a quick wit.
Wow.
I mean, I don't mean to brag about it, but I really do. So, yeah, because this one time, a certain someone, oh my gosh, now I can't remember what it was because you asked me. I have to ask Dad, but I did. This one time I got,
No, you specifically
certain
remember a
someone.
time?
oh, yeah. Oh, because the whole car laughed at him. He said something rude. I said something super funny.
I have an idea of who
The
that would say.
whole car.
Something rude. I know.
And there was everybody in the, like, yeah, you probably know. There was everyone, there was like 6 of us, 7 of us, 8 of us. Everyone in the car started dying laughing.
Nice. I actually feel like, you know what? I will give you credit because I do feel like you come back with things very fast.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it before.
I don't very often leave and say, oh, I should have said that. I always think that was brilliant.
Oh, that's nice. I feel like I never think of it on the spot.
I disagree with that, actually.
Really? Can you think
Yeah.
of a time that I said something fast?
You say stuff to me all the time and other people.
Well, you're my
very
mom.
quick-witted.
It's easy.
No, with other people, you're very quick-witted.
Oh. Okay, nice. I'll take
But
that.
then you go and second guess it the whole evening after you say it.
Yeah, true. Then I'll go home and be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Are you
People
more
coming over for dinner.
are you more street smart or book smart?
Oh, gosh. My answer is going to sound so conceited. I feel like I'm a really good mix of 50-50. I don't
Oh, slay,
I
honestly.
sounded so conceited in this whole thing, but I really do think I'm pretty smart and book smart, but I'm not like brilliant.
Right.
And I'm pretty like smart,
Right.
street smart, but I'm not like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
pretty
get what you're
even
saying.
still. Like no one would look at me and go like, she doesn't know what the heck she's doing in life, but also no one would look at me and go, hey, let's go and make sure that she's like, she's like Einstein or something. So
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
a pretty good mix of that.
That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Okay. Well, anything else? I'm just kidding. You rang?
you rang?
No.
That's it.
Well, I was thinking of something else I could try to maybe do with people when they come on the podcast, because if it's like a game or something, but I can't think of any. I don't know a lot of games that you can play like on a podcast with people. Okay, well, thanks for being on.
All right. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you. Okay, well, thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. Again, I'm still learning the ropes, and I know, get a grip, Abby. Already have everything figured out. It's year 1 of your podcast, but have some new types of things coming up next year that, like, the frenemies will be a little bit different, the calls, that type of a thing. Some workarounds and some fun things coming up next year. So we're just getting started, baby. Thank you for listening. Go like, subscribe, give me 5 stars, pretty please. Love you so much. Bye.
우회전 taking a ride to Jonah Lake 눈치 보면서 들어가야 할 때 찾아 나머진 바빠 개설레임 바꾸는 사람들 시간만 지나가 자신감 가지고 해와 그냥 천천히